stuff that he think I don't know about. Or he think he got one up on me. I don't know. He think he got a move somewhere. I told him I got a move.
The boxing world has been shaken after reports surfaced that Tank Davis has been taken into federal custody over allegations of match fixing related to his controversial bout with Lamont Roach Jr. just days after rumors of an investigation began circulating. Things have taken a much darker turn.
Hopefully the commission gets this right. It was a bummer not being declared the winner on a technicality that could be righted, that wrong could be righted, obviously, in different ways.
The situation escalated when reports revealed that Steve Willis, the referee in the fight, had provided critical information supporting the claims of match manipulation. Fans and analysts had raised questions about the fight's outcome, which ended in a majority draw, despite many believing Roach had done enough to win. Now, with federal authorities involved, it seems the suspicions were more than just speculation.
I think Lamont Roach, I think he landed more punches throughout the fight. I think Tank was used to, figuring it out, having that slow start, figuring it out around the third, fourth round. And I think
the controversy began as soon as the final bell rang. Roach had dominated several rounds, and many thought he deserved a clear victory. However, the 9th round was a pivotal moment when Davis unexpectedly took a knee during the action. Referee Willis began the count but then suddenly stopped, changing his decision and ruling it wasn't a knockdown. This decision altered the entire fight's outcome. Had the count continued, Roach would have won the round 10-8, which might have secured him the victory on the scorecards. Instead, the decision went in Davis's favor, leaving Roach stunned and fans furious.
No. What's your thoughts when you first heard that?
That they wasn't going to overturn it?
Yeah.
I mean, I expected that. I don't really see them doing that. Tank is too big of an attraction. New York, I felt like
for Davis's explanation for taking the knee was bizarre, to say the least. He claimed his freshly greased hair dripped into his eyes due to sweat, causing a burning sensation that forced him to kneel. This excuse was met with ridicule, as fans labeled it one of the most absurd things they'd ever heard from a fighter. Critics noted that fighters often get sweat and blood in their eyes, but don't just stop in the middle of a fight. Roach was outraged after the match, stating, "If you take a knee, it's a knockdown, that's the rule." He questioned why the referee had stopped counting. His team immediately filed an official complaint with the New York State Athletic Commission, demanding a full review of the fight and its officiating.
He take a knee. You need to lose like 10-8 that round at least, no? And plus the corner go up and put a towel in the face. That's disqualification for sure. I'm talking about the rule.
The situation became even more suspicious when Davis reportedly made a chilling remark to Roach after the fight, telling him, "They ain't going to give it to you." At the time, many assumed Davis was referring to the typical politics of boxing, where the home fighter often gets the benefit of the doubt. But in light of the match-fixing allegations, that statement now seems far more ominous. Did Davis know the outcome before the fight even began? Was the result fixed from the start? These are the questions now driving a full-scale federal investigation.
So to me, I thought I won the fight clearly. I thought I won a close fight. I thought I won a very competitive fight.
Okay.
I'm not saying I steamrolled him or whatever.
The federal authorities became involved after Roach's legal team hired prominent attorneys to push for a more thorough investigation. They pointed to suspicious betting patterns leading up to the fight, particularly an unusually high amount of money being placed on a drawn outcome. That is rare in boxing. This raised significant concerns that someone might have leaked inside information to bettors who knew the fight would end in a draw. The situation took another dramatic turn when it was revealed that referee Steve Willis had provided crucial details to the authorities, adding a shocking layer to the growing scandal.
It should have been a knockdown, one. So that's why I'm yelling at the referee, like, keep counting, like you tripping, keep counting, that's a knockdown. Because if y'all didn't notice, he started the count.
While the full details of what referee Steve Willis said remain undisclosed, sources suggest that he confirmed external pressures influenced his decisions during the fight. This revelation was enough for federal agents to step in, leading to Davis's arrest. This turn of events is startling, especially for Davis, who has faced legal issues before, but now finds himself in one of the most serious situations of his career.
He wasn't coming to lay down. I've been knowing Lamont since we was kids, so we came up in amateurs together. So I knew Lamont was serious. He was coming.
If these allegations are substantiated, Davis could be facing not only a suspension, but also criminal charges that might land him in prison. Boxing experts are already debating how this scandal will affect his future. Some believe this could mark the end of Davis's career, while others think his team, led by Al Haymon and premier boxing champions, will do everything possible to protect him and keep him in the ring. However, even if he avoids criminal consequences, the damage to his reputation may be irreparable.
Like when my back is against the wall or against the ropes, it's like, it's time to show up. So it wasn't really hard for me to focus because all I had to do was...
Reactions to the news have flooded social media, with fighters and boxing personalities offering their takes. Devin Haney, one of Davis's biggest rivals, wasted no time mocking him, posting, "First, he fakes injuries to avoid fights. Now he's fixing them. How are y'all still supporting this guy?" Oscar De La Hoya, a longtime critic of Davis, tweeted, "I've been saying it for years, Tank is protected. The truth always comes out." Even veteran analyst Teddy Atlas, known for his candid opinions, called the situation a disgrace to boxing.
I'm still rooting with him. I saw the negativity and people, critics talking, but I think he's one hell of a fighter, and I think he's still the top.
To add to the fallout, Davis's name has been removed from several prestigious boxing rankings. Ring Magazine dropped him from their pound-for-pound list, replacing him with David Benavidez. The backlash is already taking a toll on his career, and if further evidence emerges from the investigation, the situation could worsen. There is also talk that the New York State Athletic Commission may review the fight and potentially void the result, which would mean Roach could be declared the rightful winner. If that happens, Davis could lose his position as a top fighter and might even have his championship belts taken away.
They reversed the result of your fight.
Yeah.
Should they reverse the result of that fight as well?
Just depends. Like if that changes the whole fight, if that gives Roach a victory, give him the victory. That's how you keep the integrity of the sport, right? That's why they suspended me, right, to keep the integrity of the sport.
Davis is now in federal custody, awaiting his next legal hearing. The big question is whether he can fight his way out of this, or if this marks the end of his career. If the authorities gather enough evidence to charge him with match fixing, Davis could face not just a boxing ban, but also jail time. Some have already compared this to past boxing scandals, noting how Floyd Mayweather was once accused of influencing judges and referees, but never faced such serious consequences. However, unlike Mayweather, Davis may not be so fortunate, and if the allegations prove true, he could go down as one of the most significant scandals in modern boxing.
He caught me with a good shot, but it was times that I sat in there with him and I'm like, damn, this guy like super slow. Well, not super slow, but he's slow, and I could have took advantage of. I think I was boxing too much in the beginning, and when I feel like
Davis's situation has become even more complex than anyone anticipated, leaving the boxing world divided on whether he can recover or if his career is permanently damaged. Rolly Romero, a past opponent of Davis, believes Tank can turn things around in a rematch. Romero stated that Davis has the ability to make adjustments and win, but his comments have stirred controversy. He suggested that Roach's performance was so unexpected that even Roach himself might not have anticipated it. The statement raised eyebrows, as it seemed to downplay Roach's dominant performance. One thing is clear, Roach was the better fighter that night. It wasn't just a fluke.
You lost that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call it a knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you...
Roach outboxed Davis and would have won if not for the controversial officiating. However, with Davis now under federal investigation for match fixing, Romero's comments take on a new significance. Romero's remarks make it sound as though Roach's performance was a once-in-a-lifetime fluke, but in reality, Roach controlled large parts of the fight, making Davis uncomfortable and exposing weaknesses he hadn't shown before. Romero's downplaying of Roach's performance may be an attempt to protect his own loss to Davis, especially given that he was knocked out by Davis in the 6th round during their 2020 fight.
That people want to discredit Tank, he's still a pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night. Everybody has an off night. Shit, I had a night with Cruz.
Romero also made a damning statement regarding the knee incident, saying none of the punches hit him, in reference to Davis's unexpected decision to take a knee mid-fight. This contradicts Davis's claim that sweat dripping into his eyes caused him to go down. If Romero, a fellow fighter, asserts that no punches landed, then why did Davis go down at all? Moreover, why did the referee start the count and then stop it? Romero himself acknowledged that had the knee been counted as a knockdown, Davis would have lost the round. This moment was crucial in determining the fight's outcome, but the bigger question remains unanswered. Why did the referee halt the count?
Punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, oh, that, you know, he should be disqualified, he went back to the corner, I don't buy that, to be honest with you. I mean, I think that's a warning, but it's a bit of a bizarre situation. For me, like, there's a lot of people in boxing.
What Romero chose not to address is just as significant as what he did say. He avoided mentioning that Davis's name is now part of a federal investigation into match fixing. He also steered clear of the speculation surrounding the unusual betting patterns that suggested inside knowledge of a draw. Instead, Romero focused on the idea that Davis simply had an off night and could make adjustments in a rematch. However, the real question is how Davis can prepare for a rematch when he could be facing criminal charges.
Hey, can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there.
Ryan Garcia, another former opponent of Davis, shared his thoughts on the potential rematch. Speaking to East News, Garcia expressed his belief that Davis would win the second fight. He suggested that Davis underestimated Roach, expecting him to fold under pressure. This raises another troubling question: why did Davis expect Roach to fold? It's likely because Davis had prior knowledge of how the fight would unfold. If Davis believed the decision would favor him, it would explain why he didn't fight with urgency or prepare as he normally would. Davis seemed to relaxed, almost as if he didn't take Roach seriously, and when Roach kept coming at him, Davis looked lost and confused. This was one of the worst performances of his career, and Garcia's claim that Davis was simply caught off guard doesn't fully explain his behavior in the ring.
You think it was a draw? No. I thought Lamont won. Who you thought won? Lamont.
You thought Lamont won? By how many rounds?
I don't know. You still want the Tank Davis fight?
Adding to the drama is the $250,000 bet between Roach and Davis before the fight. Davis wagered that he would knock out Roach, but when the fight ended in a draw, it wasn't clear whether Davis ever paid the bet. If he didn't, it raises even more questions. Why would Davis risk such a large amount of money on a fight he allegedly knew wouldn't go his way? If he believed he was going to win by knockout, why did he fight with so little urgency? Why did he take a knee during the fight? The more you look at it, the more suspicious it becomes. On the bright side for Roach, he's already lined up for a rematch, which could happen as early as 2024 or 2025. Both sides have shown interest in the bout, but for the rematch to be truly fair, the corruption surrounding their first fight must be fully addressed. If Davis is found guilty of match fixing, how could anyone trust that the second fight will be any different? More importantly, should Davis even be allowed to fight again if he manipulated the result of a professional match? The damage to boxing as a whole is undeniable, as the sport is already plagued by bad decisions, questionable business practices, and long delays between big fights.
We will never see that fight happen again. It just will not happen. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't like hard fights. It's that simple. We've seen it over and over. He fought a Ryan Garcia drained. He fought a very inexperienced Rolly Romero. He will not fight Devin Haney. He will not fight Shakur. He will not fight Pitbull Cruz.
If one of the sport's biggest stars, GervontaDavis, is involved in a match-fixing scandal, it would be a severe blow to boxing's credibility. This could surpass even the controversies surrounding Floyd Mayweather's carefully chosen opponents or Canelo Alvarez's questionable scorecards. This is outright corruption, and if Davis is found guilty, it will expose a deeper issue in boxing that goes far beyond one fighter. Meanwhile, Davis is doing his best to manage the fallout. Although he's in custody, his team is working tirelessly to shift the narrative, trying to convince the public that Davis is being unfairly targeted. However, Davis's long history of controversies from legal issues to his current federal investigation sucks tease that this might not just be bad luck. Boxing fans are beginning to lose patience with him as he faces battles both in the courtroom and in the public eye.
I must ain't do it enough.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on?
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take...
Even if Davis is released and the rematch takes place, his reputation will be forever tarnished, no matter the outcome of the fight, his name will always carry an asterisk. If he somehow manages to win, critics will claim it's another fixed fight. Lamont Roach Jr., who was arguably robbed in the first fight, has already won something far more significant: the respect of the public. He was the underdog, the fighter who wasn't expected to win, but he exposed one of boxing's biggest stars. No matter what happens in the rematch, people will remember the night Roach made Davis look vulnerable.
You know it's time.
Can't wait.
You know it's time.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
You know it's time.
Can't wait.
You ready?
The rematch is nearly set, and this time, the stakes are even higher. After their controversial first fight that ended in a draw, Roach's promoter, Gary Jonas, has made it clear that negotiations are almost complete. While Jonas didn't reveal all the details, he expressed confidence, saying, "In my mind, it's a done deal. But there are formalities." The statement has set the boxing world abuzz, with fans eagerly awaiting an official announcement. It seems almost certain that the rematch will take place.
Nah, to be honest, I've already made it competitive, for real, to be honest. But for sure, Lamont is a great fighter. He got the skills, like I said.
Jonas also touched on a crucial factor that could shift the rematch's outcome: Davis's mindset. "You've got Tank, who's probably going to be angry and more focused this time," he said. This is a stark contrast to Davis's mental state before the first fight, when he had been talking about retirement, claiming he had nothing to prove, and barely promoting the fight. With his undefeated record technically still intact but his invincibility shattered, Davis will have no choice but to come into the rematch fully focused. If he doesn't, Roach could finish what he almost did in the first fight: walk away with the WBA lightweight title.
We literally saw the mental breakdown of Tank. Like, again, if you got that elite level Y, you know what you saw. He was intimidated by Roach, and it was like baffling to see. Why was he moving? Because to me, he was intimidated by Roach. To me,
of course, it wouldn't be a GervontaDavis fight without controversy. The first bout between him and Roach wasn't just close, it was filled with questionable decisions. The most significant moment came in the 9th round when Davis unexpectedly took a knee, prompting referee Steve Willis to start counting as if it were a knockdown. However, after some pleading from Davis, Willis stopped the count midway and allowed the fight to continue. Had the count been completed, Roach would have won by unanimous decision and claimed the title. Instead, the fight went the distance and ended in a draw, leaving Roach and his team furious.
Thing about Tank, you can't count on Tank to get tired, because his conditioning is out of this fucking world. He can fight 20, 30 rounds if he wants to. 12 rounds ain't shit. Tank can go. So, yeah, Lamont, he didn't do enough.
For Roach's team quickly filed an appeal with the New York State Athletic Commission, arguing that the knee should have been ruled a knockdown. The commission acknowledged that Willis made a mistake, but ultimately refused to overturn the decision. This decision only fueled suspicions that the system is rigged in favor of fighters like Davis. Roach took to social media to clarify that he wasn't suing over the results, stating, "Look man, I'm going to tell y'all straight up. I ain't suing nobody. My team submitted an appeal on my behalf." His post made it clear that he was not backing down and was determined to pursue justice. Roach's post speaks volumes about his mindset heading into the rematch. He believes he was robbed and is coming back with even more motivation. Initially seen as an underdog, Roach exposed Davis, and now, no matter the outcome of the rematch, he has earned the public's respect. What was once considered an upset is now viewed as a statement. Roach made GervontaDavis look beatable, and in the rematch, he's determined to finish what he started.